Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! It's Baker. What's up, JJ? How's it going? What's up, Marcus? What's going on, guys? What happened? What happened? Look, there's Santa Claus in the background, guys. Check out my Santa. Check out Santa. He's actually a yo. This Joe Chat. This a prank? It absolutely is not a prank. This is live. So I'm confused. When did Megan the Stallion become the fitness queen? What is this? Case '08? Wait, what? Chat, this is real. It's real, guys. It's real. It's as real as the apple juice. You lost the fantasy championship? Oh. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. You know, there's always next year. No. Just kidding. Um, no, yeah, that sucks, man. I thought I saw something in Discord about that. I don't know how much did you lose by though. Was it at least a close game? Was it at least challenging? You know, did you at least give your opposition a run for their money? If not, then that sucks. But this is AI Baker, right? Yes, this is AI generated. I am actually from Microsoft Bing. You got robbed. You got robbed. JJ, I feel like you always feel like you got robbed. how does how does this work? What's up, Preston? Marcus, Trey, JJ, Buddy. What's up, Preston? He lost by 2 to Chris. Oh, is that what Chris was gloating about? You know what? You're yeah. Just there's not much I can say. There's not much I want to say about your. But okay, again, Steph, the baby's sleeping, man. The baby's been. He's a lightweight. He this year he didn't make it past like 10-15. He got to the point where he was okay. So first off, let me set the stage. Yes, since Wednesday, mom was sick on Wednesday. So she was basically out of commission all day Wednesday. So it was dad and baby since on Wednesday. And then Thursday dad got sick. I couldn't even go to the Browns game. That's how sick I was. Like I had a fever. I had a temperature of 101.7. Like really extremely stuffy head, like constant headache, like day and night. Um, and then baby got sick Thursday night, like 6 o'clock or something. And he's been kind of like sick since then. I mean, he's been way better since Thursday night. Like Thursday night and the Friday, he was like throwing up on himself in his bed, in his crib and stuff. It's just, dude, a sick kid, a sick baby. It was it was definitely not COVID. Because like I was dumb. I probably could have made it to the Browns game. I probably could have made it to the Browns game, but then I figured if I took Theraflu, I would be fine because Theraflu almost always works for me. But this time around, wow, this girl is like straight up twerking on TV. Um, Ravens versus Browns AFC title game. Flacco returned to Baltimore. Yeah, buddy. What do you think about that though? Yeah. Do I hear the chick Tory Lane shot in the bat? What? Proof? Proof for what? But yeah, so like dude, this kid he was throwing up in his crib. He threw up like multiple times the same night. This is the same night he got laid down in his crib to go to bed, and he puked on himself. And he got his bed sheets. His bed sheet was like basically drenched. What's up, Cam? How's it going, dude? She's shaking. She's shaking some. Yeah, she was doing something. I saw her, man. Like, and what is this with Post Malone? I saw. Did anyone see the Post Malone thing earlier? That did not seem like Post Malone to me. I was like, who's this random ass like average white guy singing like not hip hop music because I don't know what the hell he was singing. It seemed like pop on stage from Las Vegas. You're finally back. You missed the streams. Please come back, dude. Like that's just. It's so rough. It's so tough. It's difficult. It's difficult to make that happen at this point in my life. It really is. You ever found those New Year's shows, man? After 12 a.m., I just go back to my business. So was Josh Allen. New year, new me, same me though. Right. Well, so no one answered my question though. When did Megan the Stallion become? You guys want to see my Christmas tree? Look at that. Look at this. Look, OBJ Claus made a return this year. OBJ Claus made a return, and look what else made a return this year. This is my office. Of course, there's a towel right there for Peyton, but the Browns Christmas tree gets set up in my office. I'm gonna get copyright for showing the TV. No, probably not. African American ladies ain't really my go-to. That's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So normally, nice bottle, you alcoholic. You know what, Trey? You know what, Trey? No one asked you. That's my apple juice. Okay, it's my apple juice. That's all you need to know. That is all. Oh, look, and these are actually the pajamas. Angela got us all matching. We got matching attire. So I got the Papa Bear shirt. It's a little bear, and it's got little fuzzies. It's got little fuzzies, and then Stefan's got. Where'd you get that at Walmart, dude? Probably. What? Are you hating, Trey? I don't know where she got it. I'm guessing I'm pretty sure she got it at Walmart, though. Yes. Dude, Walmart is where we got matching pajamas for the first year. Actually, when he was dressed as an elf. Sorry, it's like. Bro called me Trey. Oh, sorry. Sorry, JJ. Sorry, because Trey said he gave the alcoholic comment, so I was waiting for a follow-up. Sorry. A follow-up negative comment. I work at Walmart. I can get you that 10% discount. No, you do not, JJ. You do not work at no Walmart. You were working at Texas Roadhouse before. Because that seems like where you guys in Texas, apparently that seems like your first job out of high school for some reason. That's like the standard for Texans. Is you got to work at the Texas Roadhouse because it has Texas in the name. Without context, Baker looks like a complete man child. So I was telling Angela about how I said I'm gonna go stream. I talked to her about you guys. It's kind of funny. Again, like even though I know I'm not actively streaming anymore, like I still tell people. I still mention some. Like I mentioned Angela about you guys. I've mentioned you guys to her before, and so I told her tonight. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna stream for a little bit. I think on YouTube afterwards." She goes, "Oh, She's like, "You're gonna go stream for your children or whatever." She's like, "You child molester." I'm like, "What the fuck?" It's like, God. I'm like, I'm not like that. And then oh my, what is this lady doing? She won the lottery, and she like literally just had a heart attack on stage. My goodness. And then I I was telling her about that. Remember that Likings guy? I was telling her about the Likings guy, and I said, "You wanted to hear about a child molester?" I said, "Hey, remember there was this one time where I had our stream of people go and report this guy who was telling kids that he wanted to go over their house and talk to them and all this kind of stuff and be there to console them and stuff." I'm like, that's not me. And I'm like, I've made it very clear to anyone in my audience, like any fan of mine or whatever, like when you're 18 and you want to like hang out or something, we'll we'll hang out. Like we'll set up some time. We'll find a way to make it happen. But I'm like, unless you're 18, like I'm not even talking about like trying to hang out. Not consent. Like I still haven't hooked up. I haven't so he was molesting Donald Duck. That's right. He had those creepy ass videos too, right? He had those creepy ass Donald Duck, the ones where he was like molesting Donald Duck. Oh god. I forgot about those. Yeah, I did forget about that shit where wasn't he like tying a belt around those Donald Duck's neck and some weird shit like that. I don't remember, but I felt like it was something like that. So, yeah, I hope all you guys had a awesome. Yeah, see you tomorrow. What? You gonna come by tomorrow? Um, yeah, I hope you guys had an awesome ring in the new year in a good way. Um, Angela and I were talking about. She brought up something about going on a cruise, and it was funny because before she was even talking about that, I was googling stuff about cruises, and she's like, "I want to go on a Disney cruise." And I googled and I showed her. I googled that. I'm like, do you know how much Disney cruises cost? Disney cruises are ridiculously expensive. I mean, they are absurd. A cruise versus a Disney cruise, two completely different things. Should you go out? Should you go out tonight and get some? Why the hell not? Just have protection, man, or make sure at least you know the person that you're like getting some with. Someone you're comfortable with. Um, Anything Disney related is automatically. But yeah, I mean, even stay because again, obviously, I had a wife before, and nah, I need to protect. Stop it, JJ. Just stop. Just stop. Tried bringing him. Oh, Preston. Oh, that's terrible, dude. Honestly, like, did you ever? I didn't. I know I didn't ask you. Pulling all, pulling all the milfs. All right, that's hilarious. Yeah, JJ, you're gonna be the one giving it. So JJ's the catcher? Is that what you're saying? It feels good to catch a stream again. It's only if it's only for a couple hours in 2024. I need to wake up with Stefan in the morning. So I made the mistake or good decision to because Angela was asking about who was going to wake up with the baby, and he wakes up, dude. This kid, even though he went to bed at 10:15, this mother trucker is going to be up probably at 5 o'clock. This kid, it doesn't matter what time he goes to bed, he is waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. This dude is up to the ass crack of dawn, and I'm just like, oh, I'm like waking up and sleeping in bed. I was like, dude, just go back to bed. Go the fuck back to bed, Stefan. Like I just as soon as you start hearing the whining, it's like, oh, disappointment, major disappointment. So just think of that. That's how your parents felt about you when your ass started whining at 5 o'clock in the morning. They're like, dude, I'm just trying to get some sleep. Just let me sleep a little bit. But yeah, we were talking about Disney stuff, and I remember we researched that in the past when I was previously married. And yeah, we had an option to go stay on a like a Disney resort, and we were just like, no, like you spend so much money because of I feel like it's just because of the name, right? Now, granted, I know they say like they do, oh, we do this and we do that. Like, yeah, I've seen this shit. Like the Disney cruise, they advertise all the interaction with the characters. You don't pay for anything. But like you don't pay for that at the park. If you go to the Disney park, like you don't pay for interactions with the characters that are walking down the street and stuff like that. So that's no different. Um, there's there's nothing additional they provide you on a Disney cruise that they don't necessarily provide you with on a regular cruise. The only difference is that it's Disney themed versus not Disney themed. Like on a regular cruise, you get to go you go to comedy shows, those are free. You go to Like dance parties, those are free. Like you don't have to pay to like get into anything on a regular cruise. And the regular cruises, you can spend like it's like it could well depending upon like how crazy you want your stateroom to be. It's like you could be paying as low as like $300 a person. On a Disney cruise, it's like $4,000. Like now, granted, I realize that may not be per person, but still, that is still a lot of money, especially considering that if I were to go on a cruise, let's say like next year with a kid, it's still going to cost me four. It would still cost me $4,000, and that's just the cruise. That doesn't even account like, and that accounts for like they said they have like so on cruises they typically have these things called excursions. What flavors your tap water? It is a this kind of like it's 7 Up flavored actually. 7 Up. I can't drink, so I got to drink 7 Up. You know the drill. It's not apple juice right now. You start your fourth semester of college in two. Wait, what? Whoa. Hold on a second. You're in college? No way, JJ. Stop. You're not in college. As a freshman in college? Even then, like if you are, hey man, you know what? Good. If that's true, great. What kind of Flint water do you have, right? It's the really infected kind. There's a lot of minerals. It is, yes. It's Preston's favorite stuff, yes. Your 2024 is still is ruined. Mitch McConnell is still alive. God. You're a sophomore. What? What's your major then, JJ? I can't- wow. I got you. Guys, check this out in my kitchen. Did you has anyone ever seen a kitchen with a baby swing in it? There's a baby swing in my kitchen. That's how you know I've matured as an adult. I have a baby swing in my kitchen. Peyton, you wanna go potty? You wanna go outside? Come on. JJ, stop. Stop. You gotta be kidding me. Sit in it. It's not the Spider-Man chair, Trey. I can't fit in that damn thing. It's not the Spider-Man chair, bro. JJ, you were lying. Why would you? Okay, of all the majors and minors that you would go into, why would you pick? Why would you pick accounting? That dude, accounting is. Look, I'm not knocking the profession, but dude, like, I don't know if you had a hard time in school. I'll put it this way: my ex, I remember her. She kept trying to pass tests to go into. She was trying to get like her CP. I know she was trying to get her CPA, but in college, she was trying to major in accounting, I believe. And if I remember correctly, I remember her kept saying like there were some classes she kept taking. I think this is when she was a senior in college. She could not pass the class. She could not get past this one class, so she ended up changing her major to like business with a minor in accounting or something like that, just so that she could get through college. You're smart for real. All right. Hey, I mean, look, good. If you can do it, why not? I mean, you'll make money, that's for sure. You will make money, that's for sure. Everyone needs accounting, just like everyone needs technology, right? I mean, there's just yeah, as long as don't choose like as long as you're choosing a career that people need. Gonna build the best club in EP, and is that El Paso? Is that what that's supposed to mean? Man, but So Stefan wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning all the time. He's a real party pooper. Like you cannot, I can't stay up. It's hard to stay up late because then his ass is up. Like, and I'm just like, bro, just let me sleep. The DEA raided for narcotics and certain years. uh, um, you might become the brown dude. Come on, just stop. That's not no. No, you're see. That's the thing. I'm only gonna give out passes to certain people. I've already given out one pass to become a Browns fan, an honorary Browns member. But those are few and far between, bro. Like, you have to be invited to join this bandwagon right now. This is an invitation only season. Dude, this season has been crazy. It's just been so crazy. Like it's just I can't I think it was Donovan. Where the hell's Donovan, by the way? I mean, again, I don't expect everyone to just automatically just be here, right? Because I don't really stream anymore. But Donovan had asked the question, Baker, what's the difference between this season and the 2020 season? Like, which season? He said, which season was more special? And honestly, I think this season, like 2020, was a great season because of the fact that the Browns even made the playoffs. That was like, what if your son turns out to like the Steelers instead of the Browns? It's going to be very hard for that to happen, JJ, because I actually see I've slowly integrated Browns related stuff into his everyday life. He doesn't realize it yet, but he has this little thing. Actually, Melinda bought it for him. So when he was a baby, Melinda bought him this baby blanket. It's a little, uh, it's technically a little bear. Um, it's a gray colored baby blanket, but it's a Cleveland Browns themed baby blanket. We named him Brownie. So Brownie is, and so what Stefan does is Stefan has Brownie with him virtually 24/7. So he is a fan of Brownie, which obviously Brownie being the mascot of the Cleveland Browns. So he is just a fan of Brownie. So he has Brownie with him all the time. And when we say, "Where's Brownie? Where's Brownie?" Like he can't live without Brownie. So he's already a Browns fan, and he doesn't even know it yet. You named it what? Named it Brownie. That's the name of the elf. That's the name of the Browns elf. His name is Brownie. So he is Brownie. Thank God you didn't name him. Okay, come on. Wow, really? You guys are silly. That's anyway, so yeah, so he is gonna be. I feel like he's gonna be a Browns fan. One thing I learned about him too is that just today is I came downstairs. No, that's a source me and Mondo. All right. His first words are gonna be Lamar. No, he says mama mama. Like his first words have actually already been like, well, he has said dad before, at least a few times. Now he was saying hot. Hot was a thing. It was his word. He would say hot, 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 like almost all the time. And then now he says mama mama. He would just go mama 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 mama. Like, and it's funny because tonight he was doing it, but then he'd be calling for mama, but he would be like run towards me and just like what the heck? Like I'm not your mom. Like what? I'm confused. Are you confused? I think he was confused. I don't know. Um, but I said tonight it was cool. It was actually kind of funny because Angela was like, "Stefan, come give mommy kisses. Come give me a kiss. Come give me a kiss." And he was just like not respond to her. And I was sitting on the opposite side of the couch. And I said, Stefan, come give daddy a hug. Come give me a hug. And he comes running around the couch and comes over to me and just like falls into my arms. He gives me a hug. And I'm like, oh, Stefan. And she's like, oh, you're so mean, Stefan. Like, I'm so hurt. Like, you just ran past mommy to give daddy a hug. Yeah, he's adorable, man. I love my son. Like I couldn't imagine not having a son. It's once you have them. It's hard to say that you would ever give him back. Now, granted, if he turns out a certain way, no, then I might be like, take him, throw him back, throw him back. Throw him back. Not that you can do that, but so yeah, I hope everyone had a great night tonight. I hope you guys all rang in the new year the right way. Damn it. What? What did I do? Baker, you also have tattoo. Well, of course you do. You're a Mexican. That's like required, JJ, isn't it? I'm sorry. But I'm kind of not. Isn't it required? You have to represent the Mexican pride, the Mexican heritage. Here, let me put this like this. Whoa. Buddy's like, dude, buddy, come on. If you don't know me by now, I mean, obviously, like, I follow along with the stereotypes. That's my first go-to. If he was born, if before he was born, you found out he would be like Tyler, would you get the mother to get an abortion? Tyler, oh my God. That's funny, but that was out of nowhere. Well, because he's bro, first brownie and now stereotyping me. It's the way I roll, man. So we subscribe to this so instead of using Facebook for this is just a logo, so it's kind of like, okay, it's pretty pointless to you guys, I know. But there's an app that we use called Family Album. Family Album is an app that's like a social media platform, but it's for people that you invite specific people. So like you identify people who are administrators of your family album, and then you invite certain people, but then you post pictures of your kid there. That's the whole point of this thing is the app shows month by month like all the different pictures that you took in that month, so people can kind of scroll through month and year and all that kind of stuff and see pictures of your kid. And I feel like that's pretty cool idea, because when you go to Facebook, I mean, you have to organize all that shit by yourself. And then Facebook, then your kids all over the internet and stuff like that. And I just don't want that. So I decided back when he was born that it was like, we're only going to put pictures in a place where people that we know can go get pictures. Well, they have this thing where you get free eight free photo prints a month, and you can choose what style to put them in. Well, one of the styles that you can put them in happen to be Polaroid styles, and they can put the date at the bottom of them for you. So I can get little mini Polaroid prints of him out, which I do. So like for like $3, I basically can get little photos of him printed out every month. I wonder if I have one with him and Brownie. Oh, here's Brownie. Here's Brownie. I'll show you Brownie. You can barely see him, but like in the bottom of that picture, see he's like a bear, but that Brownie, that is his best friend. If he does not have Brownie, there's trouble. Like Brownie's like his comfort toy. He needs to have Brownie. Oh geez, this picture is stuck. I never really noticed that. Brownie's picture is stuck. Oh gosh, him trying to lick his foot. But there's another one with him and Brownie, see? And then you can see like the little Browns logo there. But anyways, that's like his little guy. And he bites his Brownie's face and stuff like that. It's so funny. But anyways, so I can't say that I can't say that my New Year's resolution is going to be to do any more live streams this year, but I will say that my my New Year's resolution, Angela asked me that earlier this year actually, what my New Year's resolution is, and I told her, well, it's just to be better than I was last year. When we hopping on Fortnite Festival. Okay, look, I saw this this advertisement on Amazon Fire Stick for there's apparently a Lego Fortnite video game. I'm like, whoa, what's this about? But I feel like you have to have some type of controller or something specific to Fire Stick or some crap like that. No more saying the N word. First off, I don't even say that, dude. Like honestly, like I really don't. Um it comes with Fortnite, really? Oh. Okay, I had no idea. Like that's how disconnected I'm. Dude, I don't even play video games. Like Fortnite is a game mode in Fortnite. Wow. What's up, Chris? Happy New Year, man. Chris, you guys, dude. Anyways, you got video proof. Cap, what? Cap what? But yeah, man, that would be cool. I just thought that was interesting that I see that on Amazon when I launch up my Fire Stick. But yeah, man, like I barely play any video games. The only video games I play are I have a Super Console. It's called a Super Console X Cube. It's a retro gaming console. And I think I paid like $100 for. It comes with two controllers, and it has like you can play Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. You got a boring what? Dude, my Christmas tree is sick, dude. Come on. I spent a lot of time on that Christmas tree, dude. Bro. Don't be upset with my Christmas tree, bro. Look, check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Look at this. Look, check out this train. Check out that train. You don't just get that train anywhere, JJ. Come on. That's a nice train. A nice train. And look at that. Happy holidays from the Cleveland Browns. And look at that. The little Browns helmet. And look at that. The Browns star. And then you have a Browns football. And then you have a Browns football helmet. And then you have a Browns themed candy cane. And then you have a Browns themed snowman. And then you have a Browns themed sled. Like, what are you talking about, boy? And then you got regular Browns ornaments, like normal stuff. And then you have like a Browns ugly sweater. Like, dude, what do you mean boring? That tree has so many custom ornaments on there. It's crazy. It's like the Browns ain't gonna let you hit what? They don't know you, little bro. You're sure your tree looks like a clan member? Oh God. Okay. I think he might be a Bengals fan. Yes. Dude, I love but I've always dug the white Christmas trees. I've always dug white Christmas trees for some reason. I think that white Christmas trees are just so clean. And you know what? I'm choosing my language here appropriately because hence the clan member comments. You know, because if I say pure, then I might as well just join the clan. No, I think it's just clean. I feel like white plastic trees look nice. No, I mean, but they do. They do. I feel like white trees are they're so clean and they do look very nice because they light up so easily. As you can tell, they light up so easily and you can put just about anything on them and they look nice. Just throw Coke on a normal one. No, but see, that's the thing. And the one we have in the living room is that green one, and so it's like a Walmart tree, but it's got like like frosted, like needles and stuff like that. So it looks like at least it's been snowed on kind of look. So that one looks okay, but just a regular green tree to me just it's I don't know, they're just bleh. But anyways, what the hell were we talking about? I was just saying that like I'm not gonna guarantee that I'm gonna sit here and stream that much or like well, I think this time last year I joked about like, oh, this might be my one and only stream for 2023. Did I even stream again in 2023? I think I may have, maybe once, maybe twice. I honestly don't even remember. Um, it's just been 2023 was a long God, 2023 was a long year. God, it was. If I buy you a battle pass with Peter Griffin, can you play Fortnite with me? I need to figure out how to. I need to figure out how to. I tell you one. Let me put it this way. one of the struggles that I have is so there are 2 nights a week that I get to essentially do whatever I want. Um, so the way that things are set up now, generally speaking, are Angela, she gets Mondays and Wednesdays, and she deals with she watches Stefan on those, or no, she gets to do whatever she wants on those days. So I'm watching Stefan those nights, Mondays and Wednesdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays are my nights, but Tuesdays I spend with my brother, Thursdays I spend with Melinda. So those are like my 2 nights a week. And then when you get into between like then Friday, Saturday and Sunday, then it's like, okay, well, then you're just spending time with your family the whole time. So it's not like, outside of the Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have like tons of time to just like do whatever. And like it's to my point before is that, well, if I stay up late, well, then Stefan wakes up with the ass crack of dawn no matter what. So it's kind of like, you know, um, it just that creates a problem. So it's hard to just be like, oh yeah, let's I'll just stay up late. We can play some Fortnite or something like that. Now maybe potentially on the nights with my brother, like Tuesday nights or something like that. But I don't know, man. Like I need to figure all that stuff out. So I'm actually supposed to be going back to see a therapist, an actual therapist. So I'm changing therapists. So before you guys probably knew or may have remembered, I don't know, me talking about that before, like in 2022. Um, Actually in 2021, I was seeing the same therapist. So between 2021 and probably as of like November of last year, I was seeing the same therapist, but I got kind of tired of her because she would recommend anytime I would say I was having problems with something, like I said, one of the more recent ones was I was like, oh man, I was I send you four like gives all the times you already claim those. Are you serious? Oh man, I would. I will. She would say like if I brought up something like, oh, I can't sleep, and she'd be like, oh, well, I can prescribe something for that. But it was like every time it came to something, she wasn't like a true therapist. She was was it a I don't want to say psychiatrist. I can't remember. I always get it mixed up. Psychiatrist, psychologist, one of those two, like whichever one that can prescribe medication, that's who this lady is. And anytime she had the opportunity to do that, she would. And it wasn't so it was like, well, are you trying to help me or are you just trying to give me drugs? Because I feel like you're just trying to like recommend me to take drugs and get like dependent on something as opposed to like have deep conversations and understand like what's going on in my head and try to figure things out instead of well here let me just throw medication at it like that's what she wanted to do. So in November or just before then, I missed one of my last meetings with her, one of my last sessions, and I just thought to myself, you know what, like I don't think I want to go back. So then I went and found like an actual therapist, someone who can't prescribe medication themselves, to go see at the beginning of January. So actually tomorrow, January 2nd, my first day back to work. That's actually going to be one of my first sessions with a new therapist. So I'm hopeful that going back and seeing someone new can give me some fresh perspectives and help me work through some things that I need to work through. But like even with time management stuff, like you didn't take the drugs you're prescribed, so you didn't need medication. I mean, I remember when I talked to my therapist about it, she said it's not a lifelong commitment. You don't have to do it forever. You can just do it for now. Um, and then and if you feel like you feel fine, then we kind of wean you off those things, off the medication. And then you go forward without it, and it at the time because of the things that were going on in my life, it felt like the right thing to do. It felt like, okay, let's I was just like, yeah, let's go ahead and make the switch. Like, because I was so against taking medication. I did not want to do it. I said, I don't want a lifelong commitment. I don't want to get on something I could never get off of, and she kept trying to convince me, that's not the case. Just because you're on it doesn't mean you can't get off of it, and all this kind of stuff. And so then eventually it just got to the point where I was like, okay, I think I just need to do it because it just felt like there was nothing else I could do. Like I felt like I'd try to do everything, but the thing is that I don't think like she didn't work through like the whole cognitive behavioral kind of stuff. Like there was no like approach for her. It was just like I'm gonna sit here and listen to you whine about your problems, and then like yeah, we'll chit chat and shit. But like if you can't sleep or you're having other problems that for some reason she didn't know the answer to, then it was like, okay, well, I can just prescribe you something, and that was like her solution to things. And it just, so I remember even from the get-go, she had tried to force, I don't want to say force, but she tried to, push medication at me. And again, I was so against it that I just didn't, I didn't even want to, I didn't consider that as an option. I really didn't. But anyway, so once I stopped seeing her, I just literally, even though I was at like 10 milligrams of, I think it was 10 or 15 milligrams of Lexapro a day, I just stopped taking it. Maybe that's why I'm so messed up. No. um, no, I stopped taking it and I've been pretty okay, without it. Yeah, because it was so Lexapro was meant to deal with like anxiety and depression. And I felt like it definitely helped with anxiety, but there was a lot of things going on at the time where I first got on it where there was a lot of anxiety, there was a lot more anxiety, especially at work, that it helped me through. But now I have like less of that now. So, maybe at the time it was helpful, but like now it doesn't mean as much and it's not as helpful. And then I wasn't really having issues when I stopped taking it. I wasn't having issues sleeping and stuff like that. So, but I also read stuff that it said like taking stuff like that could cause you to have issues sleeping. It could cause weight gain and some other things that I've seen in myself. Did you say Fortnite Guitar Hero? What the heck? The only thing you're dealing with is trauma. What do you mean only thing, dude? Like, don't put it that way. Like, you shouldn't say it like that, right? Because that's not, there's no only about that. But yeah, like, anyway, so I am supposed to be seeing someone tomorrow for the first time, and I look at it as a new beginning, a new opportunity to like really work through things in my head and time management and dude, like I spend so much time on my fucking phone now. It's actually pretty embarrassing. It's pretty fucking embarrassing. Like I feel like one of those people that I don't know. There's a lot of different I'm sure there's different reasons for it, but let me just put it that way. Like I definitely spent a lot of time on my phone. And I used to be one of those people where I thought when people would say, "Oh, do you play mobile games and stuff like that?" I'm like, like why? Like why would I do that? Like get off the phone and get on the game. Well, yeah, but see the thing is, Marcus, is that it's not that simple. That's what the hang on. So the mobile gaming makes it convenient because of the fact that I can be sitting there like when Stefan's like sitting around playing with his toys and stuff like that, for example, or if we put on a TV show, or if she's feeding him dinner, or whatever the case may be, if he's distracted with something, like I can just pop him on my phone, but I can't exactly just get on the Xbox because he's in there in the living room with me. So it's so much more. And then like if I'm working, like I can open up a game and have something going while I'm working. Like I can do that in tandem. I can't do that with the Xbox. There's so much more convenience with the mobile games than there are with the console. Where it's just easier for me to play the mobile games. But then unfortunately that became problematic because I ended up getting sucked into like um at least one particular game. I end up getting sucked into one particular game, and it takes a lot of my time, and it's just I don't know, it's not something I'm proud of. So I need to work on creating a balance and cutting back the time I spend on what I do with mobile gaming. Um, that'll certainly make me better. That'll certainly make me a that'll certainly make me a better person. But then I also have to figure out, Donovan, what's up, dude? What's up, Donovan? How's it going, man? Um, I was talking about something. Happy New Year to you too, dude. Happy New Year, man. I've been thinking, and again, I know that thoughts only go so far, but because of you, Donovan, I was actually thinking about a special. I've been pondering for like months now, and I don't know why I've done it other than time, or just pure procrastination and laziness. I've been thinking about trying to do like a special like WWE was that 2K22 or whatever what the heck Sims were we doing with wrestling? Like I can't remember how long it's been. In a YCW related simulation um in that involving you and JJ and Preston and I remember the Baker family. Like I've been thinking about doing like a special because of some stuff that happened last year, and I just never came around to do it. Um, I know it doesn't really have much meaning, but I feel like it kind of does, and it would have been cool. But anyways, 2K19, right? 2K19, yeah. But yeah, it's just I got a lot of my own like dumb shit I got to deal with, and it's like yeah, I got relationship stuff like that's something that um yes, when Baker shares over our mouths, I didn't do anything. See, that's the thing. You guys pretend like I'm sitting here pulling strings in the background. I can't control what the AI decides to do. So when you lose your title belts to the Baker family, to Preston and me, I can't control that. I'm sorry. Like I literally just do the simulation. I don't do anything else. There's no setup, there's no pre something, there's no setting a win, like a specific team to win. I can't do any of that stuff. It just that stuff happens. So you did though. You made someone interfere in the match. Well, who was it? I can't. Dude, it's been so long. I don't even remember. See, you remember clearly. So it hurts you deeply. Which you know what? That means that I did good though. I did good. The simulations were good because that means that like old WWE shows, those things were like scar me. Those things would scar me for life. Because I remember that one time where someone entered the match or screwed someone else. Like that just pissed me off so much. Like those are the things I remember the most though, because it's just like it was such a dick move. Like you think it was Marcus? It probably was. That haunts me every time I hear the 2K19 sound. Haunts me every night. Oh man. But yeah, man, like I just have like, you know, stuff I need to talk through, with my therapist and um, things that just gotta work out, at home to help make things, maybe possible. I don't know. Like that's the thing. Those are things I just gotta work through. Let's just put it that way. There's just things I need to work through. I mean, I think about you guys, and I definitely think about like, and I'm just like looking at Discord the other day. I'm like, God damn, like no one's fucking in here anymore. It's like a fucking ghost town. Like every once in a while, someone posts like one thing. Now, granted, I know it's like Christmas vacation. I think that's when it started. Was like around Christmas vacation or so, where I'm just like, I posted like the last message, and that was like yesterday at this time or something, and I'm just like, But what can I expect? Like, I'm not like I know I'm not like active in there all the time, so I can't expect anyone to really like be active either. So I get it. Like, um, did you see that Rose would be the cover of W2K24? Good for him, man. Good for him. Whatever you're going through, it works out well. Thank you, Donovan. Well, I mean, it's not like I'm really going through anyway. I was just mentioning that I'm going to a new therapist starting this year, tomorrow. Where you see that at? Oh gosh. Um, yeah, starting tomorrow. Like I'll be going to a new therapist. So tomorrow being January 2nd, not today, January 1st. Um, because the other one, she basically just kept trying to, she kept trying to push meds on me all the time, and we weren't really like talking through things. And honestly, it's like the more like I've spent a lot of time like even, and this is something I certainly encourage everyone to do. Like honestly, just sometimes just sit back. Avery, what's up, dude? I don't recognize the name. I'm sorry. I don't even recognize the image, so I don't know. You said we're back, but I don't remember who you are. I'm sorry. Um, now I forget where I lost my train of thought. But yeah, like I was gonna say take always like it doesn't have to be every day. You don't want to like constantly criticize yourself, but like the one thing you do want to do, you change the user and profile pic. All right, okay. Um, like reflect on yourself and think about like, okay, when someone said this or someone said that, like especially if someone ever says anything negative about you, or even if it's positive, I guess it doesn't really matter if it's negative or positive. Like really consider like what that person said and like why they said what they said. Like if someone says, "Oh, you come out like you're like an asshole" or something. Like I don't know, I'm just making something up. Like if someone's like, "Oh, you act like a douchebag," or you seem entitled," or yeah, whatever. Um, like reflect on that situation and to really think about, give it thought and think about like, okay, well, leading up to that, what are things that I said? What are things that I did? Like, how could someone have that like perception of me? Like, why do I come off that way to this person or whatever? And again, this is purely just an example. This is not something that actually happened or was said to me. I'm just using that as an example. Um, really think through that stuff and try to understand like why would someone say this about me? Because sometimes like I know it's easy to get defensive and say, "Well, I'm not like that," and I don't. Why would you say that about me? And there's no way I could be like that, and whatever. Like your first mechanism is always going to be to be defenseful. Um, but in reality, if you think through it a bit, you might say, "Yeah, I guess I could see how like." There were like this series of things that happened, and then that's kind of how I came off, and it's like, oh, and then it's like, and then you have to think about, well, then is there a pattern? Do I do that with other people? Do I act that way traditionally? Is that a habit that I have, or was that just a one-time thing? Like you really should think about those things because one thing that someone says critical of you, it's something you could think about and would benefit you in the long run, and then maybe you try to work on yourself so that you don't, you know, especially if it's something bad, right? Like you don't, it's something you can work on so you don't do the same thing or act the same way towards other people and make them feel the same way about you, for example. But I like, there's things about myself that I'm like realizing, like when I think, as I sit here and think through things about myself, like I'm just like, okay, yeah, I guess I could see how like this, that, and the other, and um, it's like that's not who I want to be though. Like I don't want to be like this person. I want to be someone else. I want to be like who I was before. Um, like a great example I thought about. See which one I want to pick. Um, the easiest one would be like paying the bills, for example. Um, or being late with bills, for example. You know, I used to be a person where I was like, you know what, like I need to pay my bill by this date, and otherwise, like there's gonna be massive repercussion. Um, like it's gonna affect my credit. Like I had all these things in my head about all these bad things that happen if I didn't pay a bill on time. And then like sometime like years ago, I was like, I missed a bill by like a day or something, and I'm like, well, nothing happened. So then I'm like, well, so then was there really like a negative consequence of not doing that? Like, no, I paid a day later, but I wasn't like, fined anything more. My report wasn't affected by it or anything like that. But it's kind of like those little things that you try that you're just like, well, let me test the waters and see what happens. And if nothing happens, well then I guess it's okay what I did, right? It's like it's kind of like loosening the you're kind of like loosening your the accountability that you're putting on yourself. And to some extent, that's what I've done to myself a bit. Like, well, I would say maybe even a bit, probably quite a lot. I've loosened the accountability I've put on myself, and that's not a good thing. Because I used to be very like strict about things, and then I let things I got too loose about things, and it changed who I am as a person. And then and again, I'm already bad enough. Like I already know that I'm like I already know that I'm what's the word? I'm a procrastinator for sure. Like that, like I totally own that. I am a procrastinator to the day I die, most likely. So it's bad enough that like if I'm a procrastinator who also procrastinates on paying his bills or not being timely about paying my bills, for example, like that's not the type of person who I want to be because I've always been so rigid about doing stuff like that. And that's what what I'm saying? Like it kind of like when you keep structure like that, like the rest of your life kind of ends up being structured the same way because you're using some one thing you're doing in your life is a pivotal point or a pivotal thing that dictates how you function in the rest of your life. And when that like little process or that formality breaks down, then like everything else that you do breaks down with it. So if you're not strict about just paying your bills, for example, well then there's other things you become less strict about and less accountability you have for yourself and stuff like that. So like sometimes you just need to like look back and think, what was that? What did I stop doing? What did I change to like make myself turn into this person that I don't even recognize anymore? There's things like that in my life that I've come to realize, and um, I just don't feel good about. I don't feel good about myself in certain things anymore. Um, I don't like the person I've become because of some things I'm not consistent with or don't do the same way now that I used to do before. Dropping all this knowledge. I'm trying to, like, that's the thing. I don't expect anyone, like, you can listen or you don't have to listen. Like, it doesn't, I mean, it won't bother me either way. I'm just trying to help. I really am. Again, this is just coming from some guy who's 42 years old, getting ready to go on 43. And I'm just saying, like, like, if I knew this way back when, maybe it would help me. But again, everyone's different. Again, I know, like, I realize when you're young, people try to tell you stuff and you're just like, meh, like what? You don't know me. What I'm saying? I get it. Like I get it. Like I was that young punk, as well, right? It's just like you don't know me. Like I got my shit figured out. I know what I'm doing. I got life figured out. I'm good. And then then you're this age and you're like, fuck. Like I should have, yeah, you don't know me, son, right? It's like then you're just like, shit, I guess I should have listened to some things, but you just generally speaking, I think most people like they don't. Human beings just want to experience things for themselves. It doesn't matter how many people you can tell you like, for example, like drugs. I think I've used this example. I think with this is gonna make you feel even older, but I remember watching you when I was 12, 13. I'm 18 now. God. Well, half them kids that don't want to listen. No, 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 no. I know what you're saying. Maybe I know you're just trying to be probably trying to be funny a little bit, but like I know I really wouldn't say that either because I get it. Like it's just like your parents go through, your whole life trying to teach you things. And, what do you do as kids? What did we do as kids? We just said like, no, like you can't tell me anything I don't already know. I know everything, right? We're the all knowing like kids. Now again, maybe everyone's different, but for me it was just like, dude, like no, there's nothing you can tell me that I don't already know. Because I'm stubborn. I know that. And now granted, at the same time, I will say at the same token, someone might tell me something and I'll reject the idea that like they're telling me something, but then afterwards I'll think about it and be like, yeah, okay, yeah, what they were saying actually made some sense, and that's something that I will certainly hang on to and use later on. But it would be very rare for me to tell that person right then and there, oh, hey, thank you for that great advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, and again, I don't know, maybe everyone's different than me, but that's certainly how I have always been. It's very rare that I will tell someone just like, oh, yeah, that's great advice. Thank you for that, and then just kind of move on. It would just usually be like, oh, no, I know, I'm good. I got it figured out. Like, you don't need to tell me. Like, um, but yeah, so I get it. Like, whether you're that way or my way or some other way, like I don't know, but yeah, it's never, it's always good to just look back and reflect on yourself and try to think about the things that you could change about yourself to make yourself better. I mean, unfortunately, I've just gotten to a point where there's I feel like there's so many things about myself that I don't like. Um that I feel like I felt like, okay, you know what, even though I was going to therapy before, that it wasn't doing enough for me. There's no problem why I listen, but I don't like being wrong. Yeah, I mean, but you wouldn't be the only one, buddy. Right? I mean, I feel like most people are that way. Um, but there is a difference sometimes too, because I don't like, I'm certainly in that same boat. I don't like being wrong, but at work, so here's the thing with me, like at work, I'm one person. At home, I'm a different person. I'm kind of like the same person I am at work, but I'm different because at work, and I've been thinking a lot about this lately, like work, there's a construct. The construct is like construct of doing business. Like it's purely transactional, it's purely like professional, it's your job, it's your livelihood. So like you can't just go to work and just be an ass. Like, well, I mean, I guess you can, but you probably don't want to. Like, but I'll say like you can't go to work and just be an asshole to everyone. Because if you're like that, then no one's gonna like you and you're not gonna ever get anywhere. But if you go to work and like let's say oh, you did something wrong, even though you don't like to be wrong at work, traditionally you might be like, you know what? Yeah, I fucked up. Like I am more willing to admit that at work than I would be in my home life because at work, like you have to do that because it's kind of part of the structure of having a job and like having credibility and giving credibility to yourself and all that kind of stuff. Whereas at home, there's, I mean, yeah, there's kind of the social construct, but it's not like a business. You're not getting paid to like be right or wrong. If that makes, if what I'm saying makes any sense whatsoever. It's just, I feel like it's just so much easier to be that way at work than it is to be that way at home. And that's where I get into trouble because at home I can be a little bit more forceful, like in the sense of just like, you know what, no, I'm just gonna be even more stubborn at home because I know I can kind of maybe because I think I know I can get away with it. But then like, I could end up hurting my girlfriend because of that. Not like obviously physically, but I'm saying like, mentally or emotionally or whatever, because I'm trying to be so forceful and I'm so insistent that I'm right about something, right? Whereas at work, you kind of have to like just kind of swallow the pride pill and say, you know what? You were right. I'm wrong. Let's move on. Right? I learned from it. Let's move on. And that's it. Like, and because you're getting paid to do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a way different thing for me. So it's just so crazy. It's always been the case for me. Honestly, like, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like I'm so much better at work as a human being than I am at home as a human being. I can't function. It's harder to function in life outside of work, outside of a professional environment for me than it is the opposite way. That just doesn't make any sense. So I'm more professional than I am just a normal human being. So that's probably the best way I could put it. Um, and it sucks. I've said before, now granted, maybe not here, but I've said before to other people, it's like, yeah, I suck at life, man. Like I just sometimes I feel like, the decisions I make in life outside of work are poor, um, or they haven't been the greatest. Um, you're the opposite, you're better outside of work. But see, I just I mean, that's fine, I guess. I mean, I just again, from coming from someone like me, it's hard to imagine how that's possible, but so the Stallion's new spokesperson for Planet Fitness, why you are calling your mother fitness now. Well, yeah, but so Angela was commenting on that. She's like, "Well, I don't know that I would go to Planet Fitness because Baker, you made my childhood a W." Aw, come on, man. I appreciate that, dude. Well, I try, guys. I try. I really do. Like, that's the thing. I really do. Like, when I'm the guy sitting there saying, look, if you're watching my stream instead of doing homework, you need to go do your fucking homework. I meant that because I really did care about how you guys progressed as children. Even though, like, I could care less about doing homework when I was a kid. I hated homework. The last thing I'd rather be doing is homework. Like, no, yeah, Donovan, yeah, and that's the thing. I agree. It's work has a specific structure. You know how things are supposed to be, and you're professional. You're in a professional environment with other professionals, and that's why I at work I am like I'm not sitting here, I'm not trying to overstate my credibility or anything at work. I'm just saying that like at work I feel like I'm just like way above in terms of like my life skills here, my work skills up here, just because like work makes me feel up here. Like again, because there's the way that things are expected to be in a professional environment. In life, there's no way because okay, I guess I put it this because at work, one of the things that aren't normally involved at work, I think this is what again I've had a lot of thought about this recently. The one thing that you don't get involved at work is emotions. Now, when you're at home and you're in a relationship and you're with another woman or another man, whatever it may be, guess what does get involved? There are emotions, and then there are people that like someone at work in theory, technically, they can't just jump up and start screaming at you because they're upset about something, because that's not professional, that's not professional conduct in a work environment. Now at home, on the other hand, like someone can do that, and that's what I'm saying. Like, they're just two completely different universes almost, right? Um, it's all good. You're a 4.0 student who's gonna play soccer in college, but I still watch the stream while doing homework. You're gonna play soccer in college? What position? And what the heck are you going to college for? And yeah, what's your major, minor, and all that? 100% someone told me never let people know you're having a bad day. Like try not to be intentionally rude or anything like that. Yeah, exactly. At work, you're just it's kind of like just get it's kind almost kind of like the mentality is just if you're having a bad day, it's like let's get through this day and like try not to um you don't want to like drag other people down because of it. Now, granted, at my job now, like for example, I know enough of the people in my job right now. Like if I'm like really down here, I can tell. Like there's certain people I can say like, "Yo, man," or hey, girl," like I'm having a really shitty day. Like this happened, that happened. Like I'm not just not feeling it today. Like, and I'll get like you can have a conversation with people because you're close. I'm close enough with a good number of the people I work with, so I feel like I can have those conversations with them. Um, so it's in ways it can be more than professional, but even then, like even though you can talk personally with other people, you're still professional about it, right? It's just you can't just be like, oh, I say fuck life and f this and f that. I mean, you can. Some people do, but like I would never do that because I don't want to make other people uncomfortable. Like I may be having a bad day, but I'm not going to make other people feel uncomfortable because of that. But again, ultimately, like I said, it's work has got its own little construct, and life outside of work has its own little construct. And so, to me, I function way better at work than I do at home. And again, like I said, because at home you have to deal with emotions. And again, like I know that everyone's position on that is different, right? I mean, if you're in a relationship, it's one thing if you're living separate from someone because then you don't necessarily see that all the time and you have time apart and all that kind of stuff. But when you're living with someone and you're living with someone who's emotional, you know, that's something that is going to come up more often than not. And so it becomes like more taxing on your brain. Like you're constantly having to think about stuff that you wouldn't have to normally think about if it was just stuff at work. There's it's a whole different like situation than work. So, but anyways, yeah. So it's those are things that I've got to deal with outside of just work. And believe it or not, yeah, there are times where I know like you guys have said like, oh, let's play Fortnite and all that kind of stuff. And I was serious when I said, yeah, I try to make time and all this kind of stuff. But like, I just in my head, I just don't have the headspace to do it. Um, Whenever I do get like a free moment, I'm not like sitting here thinking, hey, let me ping Preston and Marcus so we can play Fortnite. It's just like, you know what? Like, I just need to like clear my head. I'm just gonna like play my little console game by myself, or I'm gonna pull up my mobile game and play this for like a few minutes or a half hour, an hour or something like this by myself, just so I can just like get everything out of my head, clear my mind. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just you're just not thinking about other people in those moments, where you just like I just want to be alone. I just everyone go away, kind of thing. But yeah, so anyway, so we'll see once we get in with the therapist. I was going to talk to her. See, this is the thing. Part of what I want to talk to her about, to be honest, is I do want to talk to her about like going back all the way to like the divorce. Oh yeah, sorry. So sorry, Avery. You said you're a a center back, and also CDM. I'm going in as an undeclared, but I'm probably going to do the STEM field. STEM. What is that? Is that like? Is that like? Um, Not like nursing related or anything, is it? Like, what is that? I feel like I've heard that before, but I'm not 100% like certain. And a center back. I played soccer when I was like in middle school for like one season or something. I like soccer. It was okay. I wasn't great at it, but then again, I didn't really understand soccer at the time. So I guess that makes sense, right? If you don't know if you don't know like what is like I was a midfielder. That's all I remember about playing soccer. I was a midfielder, that's what they called it at the time, and I had no idea what a midfielder was supposed to do. Which is kind of weird though, because then you would think like, well, isn't that the responsibility of the coaches to kind of teach you what to do? But like, I still feel like when we played, like there wasn't much coaching. It was just kind of like, okay, just kind of like go out there. I don't know. And again, this is just kind of what I remember. Um, It's unfortunate because I actually really do like soccer. I do enjoy soccer more. I would say I enjoy soccer more so than basketball. I don't know about football. Football is kind of NFL football, like American football is kind of hard to put soccer in front of, but certainly I would say it's maybe second to American football, tied with hockey. I have a very great appreciation for hockey and soccer, like more so than I had ever used to in like my younger years. At the time, it's still called a midfielder. Well, I don't know. That's the thing, dude. I don't know. Sometimes not being busy, having free time can be overwhelming for some people because they don't know what to do with themselves. Yeah, it's not even just a matter of like it's just again when you're in a like if you think about like try to think if you try to think about it from my perspective, if every day just seems like a grind to you and you don't normally have free time, then when you finally do have that bit of free time, are you like, oh hey, let me just go like hang out with people, right? I mean, I don't know how many people actually think that way. I'd say probably more people were inclined to say, God, I finally have some time for me to like do something by myself. Like I just want to do something alone. Um, so let me enjoy some time with myself. Because again, like I said, I go out Tuesdays and Thursdays, so for me, that's my time to spend with other people. Well, like my brother and then Melinda. But like aside from that, like anytime I get is really just a luxury. So then it's like, okay, well, this is the only time I really have to do something. So then what am I really going to do with this time? Or I have to find a way to make that time because that time technically doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Stefan's playing with his toys. So it's not like I can say, "Hey, let me get Marcus and Preston. Let's play Fortnite." Like I said earlier, it's like, well, okay, I got like 15 minutes where maybe I can play on this. I can play my mobile game because he's kind of like distracted or whatever, so I don't need to worry about him. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like this copious amounts of free time that I have just sitting around where I'm just like, well, geez, I'm gonna sit here. I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what I'm doing with my time. Kind of situation. But I do need to figure out a little bit better, like, maybe what I end up doing is one of those Tuesdays and Thursdays. I say, you know what, like, okay, one of those Thursdays or one of those Tuesdays is, hey guys, we're gonna play instead. Or maybe instead of like, I'll go out with my brother, but when I come back home, it would be like, hey guys, I'm home early enough. I'll be home early enough where like we can play some Fortnite for an hour or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just trying to be better about appeasing a wider audience of people. You guys got to remember, like I've only been a dad for a year, just over a year. So like I'm still getting used to this whole dad thing. Wow, it's been a while. What's up, Daniel? How's it going, man? I'll let you play soccer. You had more fun kicking during football. Jeez. Gosh, man, I can't remember. Gosh, playing soccer, that was like so long ago. I was like in seventh grade. This is crazy. Back came from PA. I finally made it back to Texas. Oh, nice. I remember. I do remember you. I do remember you talking about like moving and all that stuff. Well, that's good, Daniel. I think, right? Is it good? Like, I guess you have to tell me. I mean, now, granted, the fact that you said finally made it back to Texas, that sounds like that should be a good thing. The University of Houston. Nice. So are you like you stay there like at a dormitory or something like that, or you're a student? Tank Del Goat. What? What? Now my whole family moved here there, so we just live in our house again. Hmm. So I can't remember. I remember you saying something about moving to PA. Was there? It was. I thought there was something about like you moved to PA with your dad or something. Like I thought it was like one of your family members with your mom. Okay, all right, yeah. Because I felt like I remember you saying something. See, I got to show you. Like even for 42, I have a pretty good memory. And who knows? Who knows the last time we even discussed any of that, right? But I do remember you saying like you moved there with your dad. Sorry, dude. Is this where I go all Colby, what's his name from UFC? Good job, Baker. No, you remember who remembers Colby Covington? Is this where I go all Colby Covington on you? Oh God. Jeez Louise. Did you get that guy? What a fucking idiot. Not you, Daniel, but Colby Covington. If anyone saw the thing with him, I posted it in the Discord a while back. So, and Daniel, I don't know how familiar you are with UFC, but Colby Covington was this Trump supporter guy who was facing this black dude in UFC, and he told this black dude he knew this guy's dad was dead, and he told him, "I hope your dad burns in hell." This is what he told him at a press conference. He told him at a press conference, "I hope your dad burns in hell." And the dude's like, "My dad's been dead. My dad got shot and killed." And this guy's in here telling me, "I hope your dad burns in hell." What the like? What the? Nah, but yeah, when me and my mom saw that "Welcome to Texas" sign again, we hugged each other, started crying. Oh, well, that's nice, man. That's nice. I'm glad. Hey, you know what? Whatever makes you happy. So I tell my girlfriend. This I tell everyone actually. Like I say that to a lot of people. People say, "Oh, my girlfriend, well, can I do this or can I do that or want to do this or that?" Like usually my answer is whatever makes you happy. Like honestly, that's how I feel. Like whatever, if it makes you happy, good, do it. The Felix Steelers fans start to irritate you, dude. You should have seen. I don't know if anyone looked at the Browns Twitter. Um, after on Thursday night when they tweeted the thing about the clinched pitcher, there were Steelers fans in there. Oh my God, those Steelers fans were so effing salty. They were, "Oh, you guys, you're not going to do anything because you're not used to winning anything," and all this kind of stuff. And oh my God, there was so much hate. So much hate. I mean, I get it, but like at the same time, it's like, and all I said to one person that was in there that tweeted or X or whatever the hell you even call it anymore, took a dump. Um, oh, JJ will like that. What the heck? I can't even. Oh, JJW. It's weird. So even though it says another moderator handled the message, like for some reason it still like doesn't it shows it to me, but it doesn't show it like it's been handled like where it's confirmed message, that handled by another moderator. It's kind of annoying. It just says, "Oh, this message's been handled." Okay, great. Like, thanks for telling me. But anyways, yeah, like there was so much hate. Like just oof. And all I said to them, I said, "Look, you guys, you're just upset that the Steelers aren't going anywhere this season. Like, bottom line, like, I get it. I'd be upset too, but like, still, like, don't come shit on my parade because you're not happy." Adrian Foster. Oh my goodness. Wait, wait, hold on. You were childhood enough though. What about Brian Cushing? How come Brian Cushing was not mentioned in there? Or was it David Carr? I don't think he would have been a childhood hero though, right? Because you're like, God dang it, that guy took us to that guy took us to the playoffs against Cincy like two consecutive years, and At least one of those times through pick six. I remember they had back-to-back losing playoff elimination battles against Cincy. That I do remember, and I think Carr was the head of both of those. And then one I remember throwing that pick six. Schwab, you're right. Okay. Notice that with Bengals fans this year, they'll make the injury excuses, but seem to forget that we literally didn't have Lamar for half a season. Matt Schwab, go. No, but is he? But is he? Because I feel like Schwab was the one who like cost the Texans both of those playoff opportunities. Like, because the Texans didn't win either of those with Andre Johnson because of Schwab and his like kind of mediocre-ish quarterback play. Cushing, I remember Cushing would always be hurt, right? I feel like Cushing was always hurt, like at least by halfway through the season, he was done for the season. Like almost every season. Lamar's going to his second MVP. Baker made shambles. You know what? Honestly, you know what? He can win MVP as long as when Joe Flacco and the Browns roll into Baltimore and they win, he can have that MVP. I look, dude. The thing is, I know you guys think that it's personal, but it really isn't. My whole point with, and I've explained this. My whole point with Lamar is the fact that people want to throw MVP at him because of his ability to run the ball. It has nothing to do with his ability to throw the ball. Other than his game today, I have never seen a game where Lamar Jackson has played so well throwing the ball that he deserves to win a MVP spot as a quarterback. Because again, in my mind, a quarterback, and you guys have to remember, so growing up, my idea of quarterback, okay, yeah, I'll throw Tom Brady out there, I guess, but like I think of like Peyton Manning, and yeah, Michael Vick was in there, but like the majority of the quarterbacks you're talking about, these are like the majority of quarterbacks I grew up with were pocket passing quarterbacks. So in my mind, a quarterback is a guy who was able to throw the ball and make shit happen regardless of the circumstances, right? And so the arguments I've always given against Lamar, and even recently the ones I've given against Lamar, have been the fact that when you compare him to other quarterbacks, and again, I think even after his game today, if you compare his stats to Brock Purdy's stats from a pure quarterback standpoint, so don't get rid of the rushing yards, because again, a quarterback is not expected to carry his team in rushing yards. That is a bonus, in my opinion. If your head coaching and your GM is so bad that they can't find a running back that is willing to be that is capable of being a good enough running back for your franchise, where you want your quarterback to do both of them, like again, that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like the Ravens have been so inept in trying to find a halfback to do what Lamar Jackson can do with his legs that doesn't give Lamar the benefit of the doubt, saying like, oh well, he should just deserve it because like he also has to run too. Like no, that just means their organization can't find a running back. Like that's what that means. That doesn't mean that he should deserve the benefit of the doubt because he also has to run too. I mean, I get why people will make that point. I completely understand that, but for me, my opinion, I don't think that's a viable enough opinion. And then again, when it comes to games that he needs to win with his arm, and again, so like people, like what a lot of people had the game against San Francisco, like, okay, like again, like today, I looked at the drives, and again, I didn't watch any of the game, but like I looked at the drive summary because that's what I do, just like I did against San Francisco, and saw like, okay, a lot of the drives that they scored touchdowns, like they started in Baltimore territory and drove down the field. So like I feel like that game that he had today seemed like a very concrete, solid enough game for him to be continued to be in the MVP discussion. But when he played against San Francisco, there were a lot of people saying, "Oh God, like he's the MVP, he's the MVP." And it's like the first point I made is though it's like, dude, their average field position, like the times that they scored touchdowns against San Francisco, Baltimore was at their 47-yard line or better. Anytime they were backed up further than that, they didn't score any touchdowns. So it's like, how does that make you an MVP candidate? That's like saying like, oh, if Tom Brady or Peyton Manning were like MVPs because they started every possession at the 50-yard line, like, okay, great. Like that's not saying much. Wow, you had to go halfway down the field to make touchdowns. Like, okay, that's not much of an achievement. But if you had to lead drives from your side of the field consistently, and you did that consistently, and you still score touchdowns, um, do I feel like the Ravens are number one seed not because of Lamar? Lamar plays a role in that, but I feel like their defense is a huge reason, is a bigger reason why they're a number one seed. Consider this, and again, because I look at this, the number of touchdowns their defense allowed, again, maybe that changed after today. Well, yeah, it certainly did, because I know Miami allowed them to score a couple more, or Baltimore allowed them to score a couple. But like the Baltimore Ravens, their defense has allowed the fewest number of touchdowns across the league defensively. So you can't tell me that that's not the number one reason why that team is where it's at. It's not because of Lamar Jackson. It has everything to do with their defense. You can field goal them to death, but it won't matter because they're not allowing touchdowns. It was like 22 touchdowns the other day, so maybe it's like 24 or something or whatever it is now. That's the fewest number of touchdowns allowed defensively in the NFL. It's not because of Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry. Like Lamar Jackson, again, it's like Lamar just needs to be good enough to score some points to help them win games. So that's why I say like it's, and again, I mean, comparing them to the Browns, like the Browns still considerably, say, generally speaking, still have like the best defense in the league, but the Browns also allowed a lot of touchdowns scored. But then at the same time, they also have a pretty good offense too. And again, proof is in the pudding. Consider that they played the Ravens with Deshaun Watson, the second time around, and they managed to beat Baltimore. And that's my point, is that in that game, in a game like that, Lamar Jackson needed to be good enough to drive his team back down the field to win. And I think that was the driver. I think that was like their last position they had. He threw a pick. And that's my point, is that like, so when people say MVP, and again, yes, I'm using the Browns as an example because of course that's going to be the game I'm going to watch. There could have been other ones, I don't know, but I'm just saying in a game like that, when you are expected as a quarterback to drive your team down the field and make something happen, you need to be able to do that to be considered the most valuable player of the entire league. When you can't do that, you're not the most valuable player of the entire league. You're just not. I mean, I feel like it's that simple. And again, that's just my opinion from what I've seen. So again, when you have a defense that has allowed 22 touchdowns the whole season so far, they're the reason why you're doing really good. And when you consider that, let's think about this. Because I remember someone was comparing like, so I get Steelers fans who compare, of course, J.J. Watt to Myles Garrett, and for the longest time I thought J.J. Watt played defensive end because of this comparison, and then I think it was actually just this year I'm like, wait, he's a fucking linebacker? Why are people comparing J.J. Watt to Myles Garrett then? It's like comparing like Tom Brady to fucking Jerome Bettis, I don't know, like, what I'm saying, like, that doesn't make any sense. It's not even a viable comparison. It doesn't, it's not logically sound. So why are people making this comparison? It's like, oh, because they just want to say like who's got more sacks, and Watt is a linebacker. Watt is absolutely a linebacker. His position is a linebacker. Yes, TJ Watt is absolutely a linebacker. From a stats categorization standpoint, though, they bundle him and Myles Garrett into edge rushers. So they consider them kind of like, no, TJ Watt. I said the Steelers, dude. When did JJ Watt play for the Steelers? No, if I said JJ, I didn't mean to say JJ. But no, I said I'm talking about the Steelers. So clearly I'm talking about TJ Watt, not talking about JJ Watt. Um, so I'm like, why are you comparing? Yeah, I don't I don't know why they're comparing TJ Watt and Miles Garrett. Did I say JJ? Well, I did say Steelers, so let's put it that way. So you just said, dude, JJ Watt never played for the Steelers. um, yeah, so the comparison doesn't make sense. Um, where the hell was I going with this? So we went, now you ruined my train of thought. So we went, so we went from Lamar to those guys for some reason. Now I'm like, now I just JJ, fuck. Damn you, JJ! You messed up my train of thought. I'm an old man. You can't do that. I had it was something good too that I had going on here. Um, but yeah, like I guess TJ and Miles. Well, yeah, there was that, but it kind of did not mess myself up. DTD slowed the bus down. No, like because it was going to come back around to my whole thing about Lamar and the stats. I guess yeah, I guess that it's kind of related, right? Because like no, I don't know. I don't even now. I don't even fucking know. Going with that, but I guess again, my case. I feel like I rested my case on the whole Lamar thing. That like you've got my opinion as to why I don't feel like Lamar is. And again, because like, and then you want to compare statistically, like again, like compare Lamar statistically. He's played the same number of games from what I remember looking stat wise. Game he played the same number of games as Brock Purdy up until and again because and I only use Brock Purdy because that's where everyone was comparing. It was like, oh, is Brock Purdy the MVP? Is Lamar the MVP? Blah 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 blah. Well, the same number of games, and Purdy has like almost like 1,000 yards more than Lamar passing. To me that matters more than someone who would come back around and say, well, yeah, but Lamar has like 800 yards rushing. Okay, that's not the job of a quarterback is to rush the ball. Their job is to throw the ball. And again, when it comes into situations where he needed to use his arm to win, i.e., the Browns game where they were down and he needed to come back and help his team win, he couldn't do it. And again, I'm not saying that Brock Purdy did it. I'm not suggesting that he did. I am just saying that if you want to make that case for Lamar, that's what I would expect. And I would expect that from any quarterback. Oh, well, well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that, and that's it's kind of a joke to say, it's kind of a joke to consider it MVP because, even I've seen the more recent rankings where it's like Christian McCaffrey's like third behind Lamar and whoever the hell else was in that picture. And it's like, but why? I don't know. Like it's God, I had some thought about this the other day, and I thought to myself, I'm like, man, it's like almost like the same thing. It's um uh the it's completely subjective. It's completely subjective because how do you like across positions, how do you determine who the most valuable player really is, right? Because like at a quarterback position, you have the ability to throw and you have the ability to run, obviously, as Lamar has shown us. But as a halfback, you don't have those same options. You're limited. Now, granted, you can catch out of the backfield. You can catch out of the backfield. You can make receptions that a quarterback generally won't be able to do. So you can catch the ball, but that depends on what kind of offense you're in and whether or not that's your skill. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's just so many different things that factor into that. And so, like, trying to compare like a quarterback to a halfback and then do all that crap to determine like, okay, this person is certainly more valuable to their team. Yeah, I don't know. And that's the thing. To me, that's kind of like, well, like, is it to the team or is it to the league? Like, how are you determining that they're the most valuable person? Like, to me, it should be like to a league overall, or it should be like for your position. But again, like, you have to do that by position. You can't do that like across all positions because who the type of player that will never win that will be like a defensive player. Like anyone other than a quarterback is essentially out of that picture and they'll never be considered. So then it is kind of a joke in that sense, right? I mean, so it's I don't know. And then it becomes subjective, right? It becomes subjective. Like who was more important to their team, and that's for the people on ESPN and all those other talk shows. That's why I hate getting into that crap. Like people want to bicker about that shit all the time. I don't care. Who fucking cares? Like you know what? At the end of the day, did your team win the playoff? Did your team go to the Super Bowl? Did your team win the Super Bowl? No? Well, then shut the fuck up. I don't care if you won MVP. Like, it doesn't really matter because obviously you were, if you're, if you win MVP and your team doesn't win the Super Bowl, well, obviously you weren't valuable enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, who gives a shit at that point? It's just, it's so dumb. And what, isn't there still the curse that whoever wins MVP has never gone on to win the Super Bowl? So there is that, right? I mean, if they do win the Super Bowl, then sure, maybe. But even then, again, it's to me, it's still so subjective. It's still so subjective because you're taking into account like, and again, like I don't know, like whoever decides MVP. And again, I guess I don't know who is that something we vote on? I'm not even sure, or is that something that is decided by the NFL. Because if it's just again, if it's just like Pro Bowl where it's like up to fans, well then it's bullshit. Like it's there's no like logic in it. But like if there's an actual process that you have to go through, then you have to be considering, okay, well, for if it's a quarterback, how great is this person's defense? So oh, that's right. That's right. Boom. Okay, JJ, you just helped trigger my thought about JJ Watt and the JJ Watt Miles Garrison comparison. Because someone was trying to so one of the Steelers fans will say like, oh, JJ Watt's better, Miles Garrett's better, blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. So the one thing I was thinking about the one day was, well, given that um, the Browns defense is on the field less than what the Steelers defense has been on the field for, because then I went and looked up stats on that. I said JJ, sorry, TJ. I feel like I'm saying TJ though, but anyways, yeah, TJ Watt. Um, time of possession matters. If your defense is not on the field that much, you don't have as much opportunities to get sacks or to get tackles because your defense is that good. Well, then certainly the guy who's going to have more tackles probably gets more tackles because your defense is on the field all the fucking time because your offense sucks ass. Hence the Pittsburgh Steelers. But again, the same thing could be said in this case. I'm making the same case about the whole Lamar situation. Hey, you get a lot more time, and this is a crazy thing. You would think that given the amount of time, the less amount of touchdowns, because of the so few touchdowns the Ravens have allowed as a defense, you would think that Lamar would actually have much better numbers because that means the offense should be on the field a lot more than they are, and yet he has the numbers he has. So to me, again, I look at it from that perspective. That's even more of a letdown. I'm sure if you compare the time on the field between the Ravens' offense and defense, the offense is probably X number of minutes, more than what the defense is on the field. And it's like, so I would expect more production from you then, not what you're at right now. So I mean, again, like there's so many different things in my mind that have to go that you have to put into deciding that for it to make sense. And if it's just like, well, because Lamar can run and can do this and that, like that he should just be MVP. Well then okay, well then whatever. Then it's purely subjective. It's not based on statistics or anything concrete. It's just based on how you feel. And that's not a way to aside from being in love with someone, that's not a way to decide anything. That's not a way to decide a sports achievement, right? Like the Heisman Trophy. I don't know. How do they do the Heisman? Is it based on statistics or is it just based on, oh, well, they seem like they do pretty good. So here's our finalists. Like people just vote on them. Like, I don't know. Again, it's like I said, at the end of the day, who cares? If your team doesn't win the Super Bowl, what the hell does it matter? And you guys saw, like, when I posted that thing, when I posted that thing in Discord, not that, like, just what, yesterday or 2 days ago, I talked trash on Michael Vick. When he played for the Eagles, dude, I love Michael Vick. I thought Michael Vick was such a dynamic player, and that's the thing. So when people say like, "Oh, you just hate on Lamar because blah blah blah," it's like, well, yeah, it doesn't help that he plays for the Ravens, of course, and they play in the same division. So like now, if he was in a different division, would I care as much? I don't know. And honestly, until yesterday, it was either yesterday or today. It was the first time I've actually listened to a Lamar Jackson interview. Lamar Jackson sounds hood as fuck. I was just like, whoa, compared to any cornerback in the NFL that I've ever heard talk, Lamar Jackson sounds straight up hood. I don't know why. It's just the way he sounded. I'm like, whoa, this dude's like gangster or something. Like, but like Vic, you guys saw, like I criticized Michael Vick. Like he could run, but when he had to make when I feel like he was in situations where he had to make things happen with his arm, he was limited. He was limited, and that showed. And when he played for the Eagles and Andy Reid lost his job, and Vic was pointing the finger at other players because he said, "Oh, everyone else gave up." It's like, no, dude, like you were not that great. Like you're good, but Philly also needed a really good defense to get to the Super Bowl or the championship games that they got to, whether it was with Michael Vick or even with Donovan McNabb. And remember, McNabb was the same way. McNabb was also a scrambler. Yeah, he was the exact same, not exact same guy, but I mean, they had similar qualities. And again, like I don't care how good you are with your feet, if you can't throw the fucking ball and win games with your arm, well, you're not gonna make it very far. You're gonna get as far as you're gonna get, right? And again, that's why I feel like Baltimore has been limited when if you play a good defense in those first or second rounds, like it's going to be rough because if you make Lamar, and again, this is my opinion, if you make Lamar have to throw the ball to win a game against a defense that actually knows how to cover receivers, they're in trouble. They really are. And that's going to be, Baltimore's that will be their potential undoing is they have to, again, if their defense does not come up with big plays that put them in position like they did against San Francisco, for example, it's going to be tough going for them. But yeah, like Vic did the same. Vic was the same way. So I mean, for as much as people want to say, "Oh, Michael Vick," like yeah, I get it. He was a dynamic guy. But we've, again, and then all the people that compare Lamar to Vic, it's like, but we've seen this before, and we know how the story ends. Where's Vic's Super Bowls? Non-existent. It didn't matter which team he played for, Atlanta or Philly. No Super Bowls, right? So I mean, just because you're a dynamic player doesn't mean that you're gonna win a Super Bowl. Because Vic didn't win because he wasn't complete enough of a player as a quarterback. Imagine if Lamar gets busted for dog fights. Yeah, it's just, again, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the thing. You guys, like, I know people say, like, oh, you just hate on Lamar. You just hate. But again, it's not hate. It's because we've seen this before. This is history repeating itself in a sense. We've all seen this. Again, for anyone who's old enough to remember Michael Vick and seeing, how his story progressed and the dynamic player he was, yeah, okay, we've seen a quarterback before who can run, who can have a lot of rushing yards and throw the ball. I mean, Jalen Hurts is still out there. And again, for as much as Lamar runs the ball, Jalen Hurts set the touchdown record over Cam Newton for most rushing touchdowns. So, I mean, how much damage is Lamar really doing running the ball? Like he's not scoring that many points with it, clearly, because Hurts scored more touchdowns than he broke the record this season. So Hurts, again, I'm not saying Hurts for MVP or anything like that. I'm just saying that, like, again, I think about all these things are going through my head and the logic trying to define like when do people try to define like, oh, Lamar for MVP. It's like these are the things I think about. So it's not just like, oh God, like Lamar, Baltimore Ravens, like my logic doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there. It doesn't just start there. It's just I go immediately into stats. I go immediately into comparing against prior players in the same position and you know previous teams, previous eras, current era. It's just I think about all that stuff, and then I form my opinion. But everyone's just like so quick to just want to jump on the bandwagon, so to speak, that it's like, oh, you just hate Lamar. Because again, I was on the Vic bandwagon, dude. I love Michael Vick. I thought Michael Vick was a good quarterback. I thought he was a good quarterback, and I thought when he had went to Philly that he was going to be able to do what Donovan McNabb could never accomplish in Philly. And I was wrong. It was terrible because I really wanted Michael Vick to succeed. I thought he was good enough to succeed, but he wasn't. Then you have Kyler Murray, who is a Grammy slippery quarterback. Yeah, yeah, dude. That's the thing. It's just you have so many quarterbacks out there now like that, right? I mean, even granted, I know Deshaun Watson got injured, but Deshaun, I don't know if he's not as. See, I feel like he doesn't run as much. I feel like Deshaun, and again, I feel like he had done so well this year when he needed to run, he ran, and he got first downs when he had to. Like when he needed to do it, that's when he did it. He didn't just do it because it was like, oh, it was a design QB keeper like they do for Lamar, for example. And I feel like they do the same thing for Kyler. They have design QB keeper plays. They don't do that for Deshaun. It's like, dude, I want you to pass the ball first. Like you're not a halfback. This isn't like a college team running RPOs and shit like that. Like that's not how Kevin Stefanski's offense works. So he tries to work within. He tries to do what he tries to do what Deshaun is capable of doing, but then also like trying to protect him as well. And again, that's where I feel like, again, that's the danger of having a quarterback with design runs is you have to worry about your quarterback being destroyed. Like, you don't want that to happen too. So, whew, it's 2:05. It's too late. I'm probably gonna have to be up in 3 hours, and I have some 7-Up to finish drinking here. It's been almost 2 hours too on this thing, so getting close to needing to have to call it here so I can get some sleep before Stefan wakes up because I know his ass is gonna wake up at 5 o'clock. And then I gotta go back to work tomorrow. Have not seen 7-Up. Well, I mean, give or take, like trying to ring in the new year right. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, I am gonna get going because it's been a long day, long night. I've been sick. We're talking about the soda. Yeah. Well, yes. 7-Up, aka Moscato champagne, pink champagne. Yeah, that kind of 7-Up. How about that? I don't know how many people do 7-Up in champagne glasses, by the way. Daniel. All right, guys. JJ, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Nice seeing you here, dude. Thank you for everyone who stopped by. I appreciate it. Hopefully we'll be able to do more of these, guys. I know I feel like I say that every year, and then it just ends up becoming something something else, but we'll see. At least if it's not, gaming streams, at least it could be something else. Just to say hi. It would be nice to do something when Stefan is up, but it's kind of hard, so that's kind of difficult. Because Stefan goes to bed, we put him in bed at like he's in bed at like 7 now, 7:30 because of the time change. It used to be 8. His bedtime was 8, and then once we fell back, we just stuck with 7 o'clock because that's effectively 8 o'clock if you sprung forward. So, yeah. So we try to keep that consistent with him. So he's in bed really early. But thank you guys. I appreciate your time. Hopefully everyone has a great new year. Hope your wildest dreams come true. Vote for Pedro. No, I hope everyone has a great 2024, and 2024 gives everyone something to look forward to. You have all your resolutions in order, ready to go, and you're ready to start knocking them down. So thank you guys all for everything. Thank you all for everyone who showed up tonight. I really appreciate it greatly, even if it was for a little bit. You hopefully don't get ghosted by a girl this time, dude. Don't get ghosted by a girl then. Dude, women are tough, man. They just are. Things are just, people are just weird. It's the way it is. I've had to go through the dating scene before myself. It's not fun, but yeah, I'm not sure about don't need women, but yeah. All right, buddy. Take care, man. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, JJ. Women are easy. Don't date. You know what? If you can manage to pull that off, sure. Or manage to have her pull you off. Like, all right, guys. I will see you all next time. Till next time. Bye-bye, guys.